On the bench LFC. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about that shambles of a game that we witnessed yesterday. It's the next day on from it, and I thought that I would feel a little bit more calm about it, but to be honest with you guys, I don't feel calm at all. I'm very, very annoyed, so it's going to be a bit of a rant in this one, but as always guys, because it's a new thing and I'm live doing my videos, if you know what I mean, you can leave your comments on it, and then towards the end what I do is I'll flick through my phone, see if there's any good comments that I want to read out or whatever. But if you're watching this back on a replay, lads, then don't forget, leave a thumbs up, leave your comments, and I'll get back to you. I'll answer all your questions as well. So shall we talk about that absolute crap that we witnessed, eh? The title of the video is obviously Klopp, you were right, basically. What that is referring to is, in his press conference, Jurgen Klopp said, anything that you say in a negative light towards Liverpool after that game, you're right, basically. Klopp didn't want to defend that team at all yesterday, which, to be honest with you, you can't defend what we saw. It was spineless. There was no spine throughout Liverpool. We lacked fluidity going forwards. We lacked clinicalness as well. And defensively, we was absolutely atrocious. Basically, we were just absolute crap across the board. I didn't even know what I was witnessing yesterday, guys. I mean, Liverpool haven't been doing amazing recently, but we started to see signs that we were defending better as a team. And we were, well, look, against Maribor midweek, we scored all them goals. So everyone was going, yeah, we're going to kickstart now. The goals are coming. All the players come out and said, yeah, we knew the goals were going to come, and yeah, now we're going to kick on from this. Where are you going to kick on from it? Are they really that happy that after smashing a team like Maribor, of Maribor's quality, they think that that's acceptable to then go on and play against a team that are really actually going to give you a threat and then get smashed off the pitch? No, it's just not good enough, guys. I'm literally, I don't even know really what to say. I'm just going to go over some of the things that I've read this morning since waking up and things, and obviously with Klopp's press conference as well, he even highlighted that they're the worst statistics that we've had since 1964/65 season, and he said that's terrible. Well, if you're aware of that statistic and how bad it is, then why the hell are we still seeing the same things? Why did we not sort out our problems in that last transfer window, right? Jamie Carragher did a tweet that I think nails it, right? It sums it up in one tweet, and he put, under Rodgers, the problem was conceding goals. And 2 years on, 4 out of 5 players are still on the pitch. So obviously what he's referring to there is, since Jurgen Klopp's come in, we've signed Joel Matip. And obviously Matip was a good signing from Germany. But other than that, you've still got Lovren playing in the team. You've still got Mignolet. You've still got, obviously Gomez is still there. Moreno's still in the team and he's playing. But I'm not pinning the blame on Gomez with this because he's still young and that, but some of the players that are still there, they was featuring under Rodgers. Now, we knew damn well that when Rodgers was manager, that Liverpool pushed on in that season where we could have won the league, but we conceded too many goals, and that cost us. That stopped us from winning the league that year when we had Sturridge fully firing and Luis Suarez up top. The defence was the problem that we had to work on. When Klopp's come in, and it seems to be the last priority since Klopp's come in, is to sort the defence. Obviously, Lovren was subbed off yesterday, and when Klopp was asked about that, he said it was a tactics thing. He said, people are going to say that I took off Lovren, blah, 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 and it's because of how bad he was. Yes, he didn't have a good game, but he said, was Matip any better? So he highlighted that, and then he also highlighted that since Lovren was took off, we still conceded goals. So Klopp was saying basically that you can't pin the blame on Lovren, but yes, Lovren was a shambles since he was on. But all of them was an absolute shambles. That first goal, guys, Klopp said that if he was on the pitch, then it wouldn't have been a goal. It was as easy as that and as simple as that to stop that from becoming a goal. Now, if you look at that goal, for instance, let's just look at what happened with that first goal. Henderson, our holding midfielder that's meant to be there to cover the defence, what did he do? Nothing. The ball bounced off him and ended up going in. He didn't get back and help cover the defenders at all. Gomez was the reason that Kane was kept onside, because our line was pretty good apart from Gomez on that far side. Now, obviously, Gomez is a young player and he's got a lot to learn still, but the fact of the matter is he still kept Kane onside. And then if you look at it, that Kane was able to score past 3 defenders that was in front of him. That's without looking at what Mignolet did. I have no idea what Mignolet did. In that situation, Mignolet's committed to coming off of his line to stop Kane from advancing towards a goal. But then he pulls out of it. he pulls out of it because it could have been a foul, but then don't commit in the first place. Stay on your line and let your defenders sort it out. And if they don't, at least there's a goalkeeper in the bloody goal to stop it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was really, really frustrated from the off yesterday with that first goal. I was like, that highlights Liverpool through and throughout at the moment. That is literally what we are seeing with our defence. They're all over the place. They don't know each other. Well, that's what it looks like anyway. It's like they're complete strangers. It's like if you just took 4 random defenders and a holding midfielder and a goalkeeper, all from separate teams, from different leagues, from separate nationalities that can't even understand each other, and put them in a team. That's what it looks like when Liverpool line up most of the time at the moment. People are going to be calling for Klopp's head. People are going to be calling for FSG. They already are. And then people are also going to be calling for individual players like Lovren, Matip, Mignolet, you know. But if you look at it on the whole, it just isn't good enough. Whether you are Klopp in, Klopp out or whatever, the tactics were wrong yesterday for me. Substitutions late again. Obviously, he brought on Chamberlain and he said it was basically to help Emre Can to get in to cover the areas where we were being exposed. But he even said it didn't work. And then bringing on Daniel Sturridge to try and get you goals, but only giving him 10 minutes on the pitch, that's not going to do anything. That really won't help Liverpool come back into a game like that. It was like we were trying to save face at the end, and Klopp said we did a lot better towards the end, but it's no good holding the ball and passing the ball loads and saying, yeah, but we looked like we were the better team later on in the game. That's just not good enough. Like, we didn't, did we? Because, let's face it, we were behind in the game and we didn't look like scoring another goal. Like, there was no clinicalness about Liverpool. Like, the end ball too many times in that game from Moreno, really, really poor. Does that mean that now we might actually see Robertson come into a game? Because Moreno's been quite consistent of recently. Whether people hate him or not, he has been consistent and has kept Robertson out of the team. But if you have Robertson in the situations where Moreno was yesterday, I think from what we've seen of him already, his crosses are better. His end product is better than what Moreno's is. So that would have been better yesterday. Milner was completely, against Maribor, he was quality going down the right and getting the ball in. But Tottenham just nullified that. We couldn't really see that from Milner yesterday. But again, you can't just turn around and say, oh, well, it's James Milner's fault. It's all of their faults, you know. There are a couple of positives that I do want to say from this game. And one was Mohamed Salah. Obviously, he got the only goal of the match. And it is hard to draw positives from this game. But Salah performing in a game and getting himself a goal when Liverpool are performing really, really terribly just goes to show that we have got another player in the team that is capable of trying to do stuff when we need it, if you know what I mean. But again, the other players, Coutinho, he's meant to be one of them players that really performs when we need it. He's meant to be world class. There's massive fees coming from obviously being touted about him going to Barcelona and stuff. But this is why people laugh at the fees that Barcelona are willing to pay for Coutinho or whatever. Because if he's going to play like that in a game where Liverpool really need him, then he ain't worth that money, is he? Let's face it. Like, he was terrible yesterday for me, guys. He held on to the ball too much. Just, I don't know. He's kind of got that attitude where he's like, I'm the best player on the pitch, so it's down to me to do it all. But it's not. What Liverpool should have been doing was keeping possession, like they started to do in the second half, but actually using it and then creating a space for your players like Coutinho and that to do something. But it just looked like they had no answer to Tottenham defensive-wise, and it was really bad to see. As a Liverpool supporter, I just felt like absolute crap after that game. Obviously, you guys that was watching it live, massive thank you for all you guys that tuned in, and for all you new subscribers as well, my old subscribers that tuned in. It was good to get your views on it. Even though it was a terrible game to be watching, I still got massive support for this channel, and I want to thank you guys now. It was absolutely brilliant. That was a test run for that stream yesterday, guys, to see whether it was worth doing it during the game. And yeah, I will be doing it for Huddersfield, which is our next game on Saturday. So I will be streaming throughout that one again, and hopefully it'll be a better stream and not so much swearing and stuff, you know. Like, I can't help it, lads, with the swearing and that in it. I do apologise. I don't normally swear loads on the channel, but I am a passionate Liverpool supporter. And in that game, you tell me if you could sit throughout the whole game and not swear, you know. So yeah, the other positive that I wanted to highlight as well is Chamberlain. He come on in the first half, didn't really look great in the first half, but in the second half was doing something. Out of anyone on the pitch, Chamberlain in that second half was trying to make something happen without success, but then he can't do it all on his own. Like I say, there was a couple of spells in the game where, like, Salah in the first half was trying his hardest, but he can't do it all on his own. Coutinho was just not at the game at all. Chamberlain was trying to make something happen, but it's no good in being able to skin 2-3 players, cross it into the box, and then no one's there to get on it. Firmino was shocking. Just literally, whether that was down to Spurs marking him well, or for me, he just wasn't in the key areas when he had to be, which is something that I highlighted recently. An out-and-out goal scorer gets into them areas to be a poacher and to finish. He just wasn't there, so disappointing on that one. And then also, if you look at it, that Chamberlain, obviously, he's fresh to the team, so he doesn't fully know how the team working at the moment, so you can't rely too much on a player who's just coming to the team to pull it out the socks, you know. Welcome to the stream, Irish Red. Morning to you, mate, as well. Yeah, like, we can't rely on individual players. As a team, we should have done better in that game, and I, for one, am just really, really, really disappointed with that one. It highlights Liverpool's frailties to a T, that one. Not clinical enough. Defensive, we were rubbish. Holding midfielder, we need a specialist holding midfielder in there. Emre Can has been doing better as a holding midfielder recently, yet Klopp put Henderson back in there. And then, obviously, changing the tactics. Our defence looked shoddy as it was, and then it just made it worse. So the tactics were completely off, which Klopp held his hands up for that. Klopp did say in his press conference as well, it's down to me to make things like that not happen and to improve on it, and we will work on it and we will change it and we will make it better. But it's words at the moment. I do like Klopp, but I want to see the improvement. I don't want to just hear, yeah, we're going to work on it and stuff. You have been in the team for a couple of years now, and I'm not Klopp out, guys. I just want to point that out. I am not Klopp out, but you've got to sort out the defensive side of our game. It's, without a shadow of a doubt, that needs changing, you know. And of recent, even me, I was saying we did look better, like we were defending more as a team and as a unit, but also we wasn't tested in the previous games. Like, Maribor weren't going to test us. Man United sat back and parked the bus, so they wasn't going to test us. Hello, Matt. Welcome to the stream, mate. So they didn't test us really either. And then I did say that this game against Spurs will be our first real test since we've been defending a little bit better. And we were shocking again. So that just says it all, doesn't it? Like, come January, we need to get in some more. We need to get in new personnel, because for me, Lovren needs to drop out of the team. We need another centre-back in there. And will Virgil, if we sign Virgil, will he be the end of all of our worries? I'm not too sure he will at the moment if we carry on as a team playing like that. Virgil wouldn't have made no difference for me in that game yesterday. It was more about the collective. The collective was shocking. So, yeah, I don't think that just getting in one centre-back is going to sort our problems out. Stuart, welcome to the stream, mate. He says, we need a new centre-back and a keeper. Yeah, 100%, mate. Like I was saying, Virgil, he's not the answer to all of our worries. If we don't go after Virgil, people are saying we need to go after another centre-back. And if that's the case, then we're probably looking to go abroad. But if we go abroad, there's no evidence to say that they're going to come in straight away and be able to affect how we're playing. They need to. It will take time for them to bed in, basically. And if you look at it, that what should have happened was in the last transfer window, we had a pre-season to bed in any players, and we didn't utilise that. We bought in Salah, which, yes, quality signing for me. We bought in Oxlade-Chamberlain. Will come off good, in my opinion. Matt says we also need a new defensive midfielder. Totally agree with you there, mate. Yeah, so we bought in Chamberlain. That we strengthened in other areas that we could have done with strengthening him, but the key area to strengthen since Rodgers' era was that defensive side of our game. Mignolet was shocking yesterday, right? If Mignolet's our best keeper at the moment, because Klopp did highlight that in pre-season we had a competition where the three keepers that we've kept, which are Ward, Karius and Mignolet, they all fought for who was going to be number one keeper this year, and Mignolet won it. Now, Mignolet has been, his performances have been better than what we've seen over the time. So, Matt says, are you FSG in or out? To be honest, let me speak about that a little bit later on, Matt. Let me just carry on what I'm saying and then I'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, Mignolet's improved on the whole from a couple of seasons ago, but we could do with getting in a keeper that can command the area better, knows when to judge it, when to come in and out, you know. So for me, it's very much one of them things where he's not good enough as our starting keeper going forwards. And then if you look at Karius was really good in the German league, but hasn't done anything to impress in his cameos that he's had already. He's not really been given a full-on chance at Liverpool, but when he hasn't took that chance to say, I'm going to be number one keeper at Liverpool. So that's not great. Danny Ward's not getting the chances, which, for me, Danny Ward should be given a chance. If Mignolet's had a performance like that, Karius has messed up when he's had a chance, give Danny Ward a chance, because he ain't going to do any worse than what we saw yesterday. So I don't know what your guys' views on that. Leave in the comments what your guys' views are on that as well. Yeah, I think from the goalkeeper, the whole spine of the team, we need a new spine. That was, like I said at the beginning of the video, complete and utter spineless performance. I didn't see anyone on the pitch try and take the team by the bollocks and say, we need to get back into this, guys. Lift your heads up. I mean, there was something said where Henderson was shouting and arguing with Lovren and Matip. Okay, so you're shouting and arguing with them. Welcome to the stream, Jack, mate. Yeah, Henderson obviously was seen to be shouting at them, having a go. But how can you shout at two players and try and make them better when you're having a crap game yourself? Like, as simple as that, you know. When you used to see, and I don't like bringing it up because obviously it's in the past now, but when we had Steven Gerrard in the team, Istanbul, Liverpool was having a shocker in the first half, turned it on its head because of how Gerrard lifted the team. When that bloke had a go at people, he was playing on the front foot. He was demanding that other players around him performed. What you saw from Henderson as our captain yesterday wasn't demanding shit from the rest of the team. That bloke did not have a good game at all, and loads of people have been calling him Henderson and been saying that he's not good enough to be a captain, he's not a good captain, his performances are crap, he shouldn't be a holding midfielder. I don't know how many times I can try and sit and defend him and say what he does is give it his all on the pitch, but when do we draw the line and say, giving it your all? I mean, if I went and played for Liverpool Football Club right now, as a Liverpool supporter, I would give it my all. I would give it my best, but I could only run for 5 minutes of the game, so that wouldn't be good enough, would it? You know, so I wouldn't expect to play for Liverpool. So it's not about giving your all for the team, it's about performing as well as giving your all, and what we're seeing at the moment across the board is just not bloody good enough. And that's why, even a day on from a performance like that, I'm stewing, guys. I'm still really angry, and it affects our personal lives, doesn't it, as well? As Liverpool supporters, you don't want to see performances like that because it affects you in everyday life. A lot of you guys would have gone to work this morning with a right beer in your bonnet. You probably got Spurs fans where you work or at your schools or whatever, and you've got to face that today. And really, it's not your fault, is it? It's the team and how they performed. As Liverpool Football Club, that's just not good enough. Playing in games like that and performing like that is not bloody good enough for Liverpool Football Club at all, period. That is end of the matter with that one. It isn't good. Look, right, I wrote down a couple of stats, right? Now, if you look at it this way, yeah, Liverpool's defence, or Liverpool as a whole, because we defend as a team, as Klopp says, is we licked 12 goals in 3 games. If you look at the Watford game, the City game, and now the Spurs game, that's 12 goals that Liverpool have conceded in 3 games. That is shocking, right? Liverpool sit 9th in the table after that game with 13 points, -2 goal difference. For a team that is being touted as having one of the best attacks in England, why is the goal difference so bad? I'll tell you why, because the defence and the holding midfield and that aren't doing their bloody job in the games. I mean, you can't rely on the strikers to always score 5-6 goals a game. You just can't. Like, even if you had Luis Suarez in the bloody team still, you had the best strikers on your team. I mean, Salah, Coutinho, Firmino, you know, Daniel Sturridge, all of them on their day can score goals, right? But if you're not defending and stopping goals from going in at the other end, then you're not going to win games. You're not going to win that Premier League. Now, Liverpool haven't won that Premier League title, right? And every year, it's a laughing joke. We're a laughing stock for other fans, because we can say, yeah, but look at our European record. We say about our history and how good we've done and that. Yeah, we have got a massively good history. But they can still just turn around and say, yeah, but show me your Premier League title. And what can you argue to that? Because you can't. Too many times have we seen that Liverpool push in a season to win the Premier League title, and we've come close, but we never do it. And then, like, in 2014-15, when we finished and it looked like we could have won the league, it was next year we're going to push on. And it's a cliche, isn't it, guys? That everyone says next year. Everyone says, Liverpool fans say next year's our year, you know. And even I said, after the transfer window closed, the last one has just gone, I said, there's no way we're doing anything this year. We're not going to win the title. After last year, we finished in the top 4. Brilliant. We got Champions League. But then if we don't push on from that, top players are not going to want to sign for Liverpool Football Club. If they're seeing how we're playing, it's just going to make it harder for us come January to convince players to come and play for this team, because they're not going to have confidence in the tactics that the manager's doing, because he's getting the brunt of what's going on. But my opinion is he's being let down. Klopp said in his press conference, right, that Liverpool had worked on tactics leading up to this game on how to stop Harry Kane, Dele Alli and all that, and how they attack. He said we knew where they like to play, in the areas that they like to play on the pitch, and we knew how to stop that, and we worked on that. And then he said, but after the first couple of goals, it was obvious, and this is why he made the change, that we wasn't doing what we had worked on in training. So when you look at it like that, Klopp is being let down by the boys that are on the pitch. But then when you look at it as well, yes, he's being let down by the players that are on the pitch, but then his tactics change didn't help either. So he has got to take some of the blame from that game. He has. And like I say, when you are a manager of a team, right, no matter how hard you work on the training and stuff, whatever your players do when they step out on that pitch is what they do. Klopp's not physically on the pitch and he can't have an influence in that. But what he does have an influence in is the tactics, right? Too often, the substitutions come on late, like I stated. Sturridge come on to try and get a goal, but we were already well behind. And 10 minutes of the game, Sturridge is just going to keep getting criticism. Now, I, for one, on his channel said that Sturridge's time is up. And people even said to me after that game yesterday, Sturridge was crap again, mate. What you said the other day about Sturridge's time is up and stuff. But on the other hand, he isn't going to be able to affect a game when he comes on with 10 minutes when we're playing so bad. You can't sit there and say, any person could come on and score 3 or 4 goals and get Liverpool back into the game within 10 minutes. It just isn't going to happen, you know. So, absolutely disappointing. Quickly as well, guys, leave a thumbs up on the video if you're watching it. It helps out the channel and that. So, but yeah, I'm going to go back to Liverpool's position in the table. 9th in the table with 13 points, right? Now, 4th is Chelsea with 16 points. So, if you look at it like that, we're only 3 points off 4th. But there are teams ahead of us that could go up there even if Chelsea drop points. So, it's still a big difference, really. And then in 3rd is Spurs with 20 points. So we're like 7 points off 3rd now, which for progression from Liverpool from last season, obviously we need to be finishing above 4th this year. And I do want to just get into the Champions League this year. I want to get to January, get in some new centre-backs or whatever it takes to push us on for the rest of the year. And we need to finish in them Champions League spots again for next year. Otherwise, we're no better off than what we was going into this season. So when you do look at the table and how Man City and that are playing, the league is out of our hands already if we're going to carry on playing like this. Like Klopp said leading up to this game, he doesn't want to just fight for top 4. He wants to fight for the league. But then the players and the management and everything across the board, from FSG not spending on the club, everything is not showing that Liverpool are capable of winning the Premier League title anytime soon with them performances. Up until Man City, Liverpool had a good record against the top teams, right? But now this season, we got spanked by Man City, and then we just took an hiding off Spurs as well. So, again, at least against Man City, right? Man City are doing really well, and we could kind of use the excuse that Mane got sent off, which was our best player. We were down to 10 men, you know, and playing with 10 men against how City are playing, we've got an excuse, kind of, you know, which it still wasn't good enough, but we could use that. Whereas now, it's literally like playing against Spurs. We had 11 men on the pitch, and we still wasn't good enough. So, it's literally like, where do you stand on that? Do you know what I mean? I do want to know what your guys' views on it all on that are. I know everyone's disappointed. I, for one, am absolutely fuming over it, guys. I'm not going to lie. Normally, I try and find positives and everything from games. And like I say, I was at a push to say Salah and Ox was 2 positives from the game. People are asking me what my player ratings are of the game. I'll be totally blunt with you. A 6 for Salah in the first half. He dropped off in the second half. I'm going to give a 4... at a push, a 5 for Chamberlain in the second half. But the rest of the team, absolute 1. All of them, 1 across the board. They were terrible, guys. Absolutely terrible. And, yeah, if you look at it this way as well, guys, right? Looking at the stats, Liverpool have let in 3 more goals away from home than Crystal Palace this season. Says it all. Now, everyone's laughing at Crystal Palace. They're sacking their managers. They're performing absolutely crap, you know? So, it's literally like... You look at us going into this game. Oh, Man U lost to Huddersfield, didn't they? Whey, they're stuff at Man United. And then we go and get spanked by Spurs on the same weekend. You know, yes, Spurs are a better opposition than Huddersfield, but we've got Huddersfield next. You know, what happens if we lose against Huddersfield on the next weekend? What happens then? Everyone's saying, is Klopp going to get sacked soon? I don't think he's going to get sacked because I think FSG know that Klopp gets the better out of players. That means FSG don't have to spend the money in the transfer windows and stuff. So they're not going to sack him because he's a high rate defender. But something's got to give, guys. And at the moment, I don't know what it is. You know, I don't know where we can improve. I know that we've got to improve massively, but where do you fucking start with that team that we saw yesterday? On a high from a 7-0 win against Maribor, but like we said, it is Maribor. Then we go into this game and we get an hiding from a team that actually is on our level. We get embarrassed. It's not good enough, lads. It ain't good enough at all. I'm going to go to the comment section. I'm going to bring it up on here and that because I want to see what some of you guys have been saying. before I end this video and that. But yeah, absolutely shocking, guys. If you think Liverpool need to improve and you can't wait for January and we need to change a lot of players, smash the thumbs up on this video. If you're watching it back as well, guys, please leave your comments afterwards so I can reply to you and see what your views are as well if you missed the stream. But yeah, not good enough at all, guys, at all. Not happy one bit. Give me 2 seconds, guys, because I've literally got to figure out how my missus' phone works, because I'm using that for to see what you guys have said on the comment section. Matt had said, don't hide it. I'm not Matt, mate. I'm not at all. Irish says their aim at the start of the season was 4th. I think so. Nothing has changed in my opinion. Yeah, I think now we are looking to try and finish in the top 4 again. And it's funny that Klopp was going into this weekend saying, no, we're not going to settle for that. And then we take an eye, didn't it? It's like, it's funny how one game can change everything, isn't it? Josh says, I also find that the midfield was meh. Henson just ends up as striker. He never holds his position. Yeah, all around, mate, everything, meh. Simple as that. I like that. I love how you said that. Jack says, we should have kept Brendan Rodgers. He was a brilliant manager. Oh, I don't know, man. He's gone on Celtic, but it's a Scottish league, isn't it? If you look at it this way, Jack, Brendan Rodgers was on a decline because teams sussed out to sit back against us. He had that good season, but then once teams realised sit back behind the ball, then obviously it stopped and he was starting to go down. So I'd like to see how Rodgers would do now. I don't think he'd do any better than what Klopp's doing, in my opinion, but Klopp's not doing great, is he, with the players that he's got? And if you do look at it, that across the board, we've made signings since Klopp's come in. But like I said, that back line, Jamie Carragher's tweet, it sums it all up. Like, we haven't sorted out in the areas that we really needed to sort out from when Rodgers was in charge. Matt says, won't happen when FSG keeps spending on guys like Markovic, Grujic, Gini, etc. Yeah, I don't know, man. There is a lot of talk about FSG and a lot of people saying FSG out and out. And when you do look at the net spend and everything, and there's a lot of talk about where did Liverpool go to take that next step, I think the next step is without FSG unless they start spending in the transfer market. They do say, they're really clever because if you guys haven't watched my video where I talk about FSG, go and check that out on the channel. I go over stats, net spend, I go really into detail about it, but they're really clever at hiding the fact that they're not spending a lot on Liverpool Football Club. And like I said, they said from the beginning, they didn't hide it. They did say that they was not going to really be putting into the team, that they wanted to sort Liverpool out financially and let Liverpool tick over themselves. And they was going to help us with sponsorships. But you want to see owners that are at the stadium and in and around the team all the time. You want to see owners that are Liverpool supporters, not a business. And that's what FSG is. So that's my views on that anyway. Jack says we need Adam Lallana. Yes, we do, mate. We've missed Adam Lallana. I think we're missing Kleiny at the moment. Joe Gomez and Trent have done a job since they've been in, but I think we're starting to see that they are still young and that they are going to be inconsistent. The consistency levels at Liverpool is a key area. That is why we're playing great in one game and then absolutely shocking in the other. Lovren even can have a good game, but then he's shocking the next week. So, yeah, so we can't put all the blame on the young players, but Kleiny needs to come back into the fold. And if you look at it as well, I personally don't think Lovren's playing another game at Liverpool Football Club. That's my views on it. So that means that Joe Gomez has got to pair Matip up until January. And we don't really want to be putting the pressure on a young player like that because that could have an effect on his growth as well as a player. So, yeah, Carlo says, hello, mate. Hello, Carlo. Welcome to this one today, mate. Thank you for joining me yesterday on the stream, buddy. You was a legend. We need a manager like Carlo Ancelotti, says Jack. Josh says, at the moment, I can see us getting 5th and 6th. Liverpool, one of the best teams in the world. We should be in the Champions League every year, but at this rate, we are going to end up 9th. I think you highlighted the key fact with that one for me, mate, is the fact that Liverpool are one of the best teams in the world. And with the rich history that we got on that, that's why we're a bit of a laughing stock at the moment to other fans, because it just ain't bloody good enough for Liverpool Football Club. If you look at the legends that have played for us and that, do you know what? I would really like to see what some of the, like to pick some of the brains of some of the legends that were from the past. Can you imagine what Shankly would say about the Liverpool performances today? No bloody way. Would you see Lovren play for Liverpool Football Club again after performances like you've seen from him? No, you wouldn't. It's absolutely shocking, guys. John Malone, do you think top 4 is still realistic? You're right, John. Welcome to the stream, mate. I think it's still early. Like I highlighted that we are only 3 points off top 4 at the moment. So I don't want to rule it out fully. But if we keep playing like that, then yeah, the gap will get bigger and then we're not going to come back into it. I'm kind of hoping, mate, that we really hold on until January. If we can still be around close to the top 4 spot, come January, if we're clever and we do get in players that will make us better and we need that spine throughout the club and throughout the team, then we can kick on. But seriously, mate, I think I'm literally clutching on straws to get to January now. I'm so worried that we're just going to fall behind too much, because we really do need Champions League football next year to help progress. Because there's no other way that we're going to progress until we're in Champions League consistently. But are we going to be able to do that and achieve that with FSG as owners, you know? So, and the players that we got at the moment, it just won't happen. Jack said, should Robertson start a lot more? I think after that game yesterday, mate, I can't see why Klopp wouldn't put Robertson into the team. Moreno's been keeping him out of it because he's been consistent, but he had a shocker again yesterday. One thing that everyone highlights about Moreno is that he's not great defensively, but he's good at going forwards. Well, he was shocking yesterday. Absolutely shocking. Took shots at goal when he shouldn't have, and they were straight at the keeper. Also, when he crossed it, when he was in key areas, they were shit, the crosses. So, yeah, Robertson deserves a chance to come in and see whether he can do any better for me, mate. He was brought into the team, and he did state, didn't he, that Moreno's been playing really well, and that's why we haven't seen him, because it's a specialist area for Klopp. So now give Robertson a chance. You can't do any worse than what we witnessed yesterday, really, guys. Jack says, who do you think we should sign in January? I don't know, man. 2 centre-backs for me, whether it's Virgil or not. I know a lot of people want to see Virgil. I, for one, think that he would be a good signing. But if we can't get him or we don't want to spend the money on him, don't tell me that there's no other centre-backs out there that we could bring in, you know. I think if it wasn't down to Klopp and it was down to, like, Edwards and stuff, and they were saying that they couldn't find a plan B other than Virgil to improve what we've got already at the club, then they should be sacked and sent out the door, because that ain't bloody good enough. You can't tell me that there's no other defender out there that could come in and improve that defensive line that Liverpool have got. No fucking way at all. Stuart says, we all said the summer it was shite, but we all got called negative by other fan channels. Yeah, I think that's the thing, man. Like, I literally, with the last transfer window, I looked at it that there was some good business done, but the main business that needed to be done didn't get done. So on a whole, that transfer window was void and cost us this year. It's cost us this year completely, Stuart, hasn't it, mate? Let's face it. And I don't know what the other channels were saying or whatever on it, but I, for one, was trying to say that we got to be positive. We did, with the team that we had, we did manage to finish in the top 4. But then the other teams, they've progressed from last year. They've strengthened. You know what I mean? I mean, look at Man City now this year. It's just, to do it from Rodgers' era, Liverpool should have sorted out that defensive side of it. That was our biggest problem for years now, and it should have been sorted. So, yeah, it's terrible, mate. It is terrible, sure. Let me just scroll back and see whether there was any others back at the beginning before I end this one. Iris says, no, I read that one, didn't I? Josh had put, I'm worried that if we do bad till the end of the season, Kate will want to leave in January 2019. Yeah, I don't think that would possibly happen, Josh, mate, reading that comment. But let's face it, players want to play for a team that's doing well, and they can see a progression, see a plan, and kick on to do that and start winning things and being in Champions League every year. One of the reasons we were able to get Cater is because Liverpool are in the Champions League, and it looked like we was going to progress, and we haven't. So yeah, we won't keep players in general, you know. Irish Red has said Danny Ward has been unfairly treated, and if I was him, I would consider my future in the summer. Yeah, I definitely think that goalkeeper situation, like I've said, I don't think Mignolet will stay come next summer. He's not featuring in the Champions League, so why will our starting keeper want to stay if he's not getting game time in the Champions League? That just won't happen. So, yeah, all in general, the goalkeeper situation needs sorting out. Hemmer says, heard Mo is trying to bring a defender from Egypt in. Hope this goes well, as a defender I'm talking about is the absolute fighter. Really, I haven't seen that, Hemmer, but I will look into it, mate. That's interesting. Stuart said, I love Salah. Yeah, it has, mate. We only got one first team improvement. Yeah, we need to sign Socrates. Karius needs to leave. I'm going to stop reading the comments here, guys, because we've been going for half an hour. Massive thank you to all you guys that have joined me on this stream. For all you guys that have missed it and you're watching the replay, thank you for watching it. Please leave your comments on the video afterwards. Let me know what your key talking points was from that game. I'm pretty sure it's going to be all negative. So, yeah, I'm going to brace myself for that one, guys. But please leave a thumbs up as well. Your support has been amazing, guys. And don't forget as well that there's going to be a Halloween special coming up. So make sure that bell notification is on if you subscribe to me. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure to do so, because I'm going to be doing a special and I'm going to be in the most haunted village. And hopefully we can have a bit of fun with that, considering we've had a shitter this weekend, you know. So on to Huddersfield, guys. You get a video out of me tomorrow, probably. Unless there's something major that comes out today that I need to talk about, I'll speak to you later. Take it easy, guys. I hope you have a good rest of your days.